Hello, this is Garrett Keane. In this particular example, it's a continuation of the last video, and this time I'm going to do the solution for question 2. That's to create a form that gets two numbers, so the user will input two numbers into these two text boxes. The program will then check if the product of the two numbers is above 50, so the program will multiply the two numbers together. We'll then test to see if the number is greater than 50. If it is, it'll give a warning message. It will give a warning message if it is greater than 50, otherwise it'll give an OK message if it is not. So I'll close that down there, come back into design mode, and basically I can click here. What I should explain also is on this frame, I call this FRA product check. I then call this text num1. Because I call this one text num1 with the number 1, there will be a conflict if I try to call this one the same name. So I'm using the word one rather than the number 1. Likewise, this is text num2. My command button is called cmd check product, and I have a label down here, so I just call label product 50. Okay, so if I double click on this, it creates a space where I can write the code. So I'm going to come here and I'm going to come dimension num a single, num2 a single. And I'll have another one, which is the product as a single. So as before, in the input section, it's exactly like it is up above. I could cut and paste, but I'll just write them out again. So num1 is equal to, but this time it's text num1, where the 1 is the number 1 dot text. Num2 is equal to text num2 dot text. So I've read the two of them in. The next thing is I calculate the product. So product, calculation, and decision. So I calculate the product as num1 multiplied by num2. Then I say if the product is greater than 50, then now what I'm going to do is also declare a string. So I'll declare this string as a message as a string. So I can have a text in this. I'll say message is equal to warning. The value is greater than 50. So if that condition is true, the message is going to be the product is greater than 50. Otherwise, the value is OK. And then I have an end if here to close off the if block. And the last thing then is to output. I suspect the box mightn't be big enough. I may have to make it bigger. If I just go back to the form. It's here somewhere. Back here to the form. I call this label product 50. That's going to be my output. But I might just widen it down a little bit, like so. And then if I come and say back to my text, back to my code, I click in there, and it's label product 50 caption is equal to message. So whatever the message is will be put on assigned as the caption of this label. So if I run it here, F8 to run it line by line, I click over here, I put in a number, so I'll say 50 there, and I'll say 2. So we'll put in two values to make sure that we get the warning message. I check the product, I press the button, so I come in here, num1 is equal to text num1 text, num2 is equal to text num2 text. So I'm going to edit the immediate window from before. And you can see num1 is 50, num2 is still 0, but I execute that line now, and now you can see num2 is 2. The product is the product of those two. So you can see 50 times 2 is 100, which is correct. So the product is a greater than 50, so we'd expect the warning message to be assigned. Pull that space back. So we assign warning the value is greater than 50 into this string. If you notice, it comes to the else and it skips down to the end of it. It doesn't go near this line here, which is after the else. And then it comes down and says label product 50 caption is equal to message. So if I go out and look at the form, you can see warning the value is greater than 50 gets displayed here. If I come in here and put 5 in there, come in, it's still in debug mode, so it comes in with the F8 button. Now I read in, I'll delete these, so I can read in num1, num2, calculate the product. So num1 is 5, num2 is 2, therefore the product is 10. This condition now should be false because the product, which is 10, is not greater than 50, therefore the condition is false. So the program should come to the else statement, execute the line after it, and then come out at the end of it. So let's see what happens when I press F8. That's exactly what happens. It comes to the else, it assigns the value is OK into this string, and then it comes down and it sets the caption equal to whatever's in this string. So if I come out now, you can see it says the value is OK. And it finishes off then. Okay, thank you for listening. The next video I'm going to do this one here, which is an example to create a water chargers application, a small water chargers application. Okay, thank you for listening.